much as rural. It has houses, where it's good going, it has backyards, garages, a little more space around our homes. What else do we have in a suburban community? Think about Ben Salem, right? Carla Green.
Nature.
Okay, there's more nature than, okay, you're comparing it to urban, correct? There's more nature than urban, okay? Let me see, one more. Anthony.
Public school.
The schools, okay? There's what else?
This school.
This school, Cornwell's. Okay.
Stop signs.
Well, there's stop signs. You're gonna have stop signs down in the city. You're gonna have stop signs around. But what other features? Like what features? I think we touched base on a lot of them. Do you have another one, Aiden?
They have lots of pools in the city.
They have
Because
pools in
there's
the
lots and lots of people, so I know when there will be lots and lots of pools.
Okay, well, we're working with suburban community right now.
Suburban actually has a lot of pools.
Okay, so they have community centers. We have community centers. We have a library. We have post office. We're not calling out. Okay, so in our Ben Salem community is a suburban community. Okay, I'm going to read you a little more information. And the really cool thing about this book, it actually has information about a community that doesn't look too far from us. Okay? So this one says, this is what a community looks like. It's very different than a urban community, and it's very different from a rural community.
Look, face.
Communities outside cities are suburbs. That's your definition. Suburbs are smaller communities just outside of cities. Remember our human graphic organizer? We had our friends standing up with their arms open, right outside our urban community, right? Many people live in suburbs. Suburbs have many kinds of homes. They have schools, fire stations, police stations, and hospitals. Suburbs have stores and gas stations. They have parks and other places to play. Do we live in suburbs?
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
Everyone, yes?
Yes!
Living in a suburban community, many families live in suburbs. Some people live in houses. Some people live in apartments. And lots of homes have yards. Most people drive cars in a suburb. People drive to work. They drive to shopping malls. There are lots of parking in the suburbs. And we already went over some of the features that we would see in the suburbs. So what I want to let you in on, another suburb that is close here. How many of you have heard of Levittown? This is a little bit about Levittown. We're going to give you a little history of Levittown. Okay, it says about 60 years ago, a man named Bill Levitt had an idea. He wanted to build homes for young families, thousands of homes. And the way he did this is he wound up going up and down the street. And if you look at this, is actual aerial view. It's kind of hard for those of you in front to see an aerial view of how he lined up all the houses in Levittown.
Whoa.
Okay. Alright, hold on. The town is called Levittown in Pennsylvania. And we see a man and a woman, they bought one of the new houses, and this is their way of owning a home. So Bill Levitt made it possible for a lot of young families to buy homes and have them of their own. And this is what the house looked like. Probably if you ever drove through Levittown, you would see these little homes. That's pretty much what they look like.
That's the house where I used to live when I was a baby.
Okay. So maybe you lived in Levittown.
I did.
Okay, how cool is that? And it says, what's so special about Levittown? Well, during the 1940s, there was a war. When it ended, millions of U.S. soldiers came home. They had young families and they needed houses to live in. Bill Levitt and his family had farmland near New York City. They planned a suburb there. They built new houses faster than anyone had before. Then they sold the houses at a really low price. They called the community Levittown. Good job. The new suburb was very popular. The Levitts built 2 more Levittowns. One suburb is in Pennsylvania and the other one is in, guess what? New Jersey. So now we have 2 towns, excuse me, we have 2 towns called Levittown. One is in Pennsylvania and one is in New Jersey. Excuse me? You used to live in New Jersey? Good job. All right, now we know a little bit more about our suburbs. And we see a difference. Okay, so we saw how urban community, tall buildings. Okay, then we see I'll show you a picture. So we have our urban community of tall buildings. Over here, friends. Over here. Okay, this is our urban community. Then we have our rural community. What a difference.
Big difference.
Look at that difference.
And lots of space.
A lot of space. Then, let's see, can I have someone to help me out here? Could you help me out here? Rural, rural. Can I have someone to help me suburban? Can you help me with suburban? Come on up. Can you stand up, please? Stand up here. And then I need urban. Let's see. Lindsay. All right. So when we first did our graphic organizer, we did our city. Okay. Who can tell me, if you remember, okay, why did the city go into the suburbs? Do you remember that? What happened? Austin, do you remember?
I think because it was getting too crowded.
Very good. Very good. And that's how suburbs were created, because the urban community got too congested and too tight. They couldn't build skyscrapers any higher, and they had buildings on top of each other. So then they branched out into the suburbs. And then from the suburbs, you have even more land for the farmers. All right? Now we have I have a fun activity we're going to do. Okay? Now, in addition to the activity, you're also going to have your suburban, you're also going to have your suburban little foldable, and you're going to put in your features, and there's only 4 features.
What color are they?
Nice question. You're going to color them blue. So you're going to color code suburb blue. Okay, I did very good. Okay, and we have neighborhoods, paved roads, some traffic, many houses, and 1 library. In addition to that, many of you were asked to bring in shoe boxes. How many of you brought in shoe boxes? Nice job. Okay. Have you ever heard of what a diorama?
Yes. No.
Okay, raise your hand if you've heard of a diorama. Okay, do you know what it is?
Is kind of like
Fabulous, fabulous, fabulous idea. Great. That's what a diorama is. It's like a shadow box. And what you're going to do is you're going to put features inside of the shadow box. You're going to get paired up with someone in your class. Hold that phone. You're going to get paired up with someone in your class, and you work together and create a diorama of one community. You're going to choose one community that you would like to create. After you create it, then you're going to write a persuasive essay. Do you know what a persuasive essay is? Lindsay, want to give it a shot?
An essay is a picture that you have to write write down facts and you have to write about like urban or rural or suburban.
Okay. Okay. Right. It's an essay, but a persuasive essay. What word is in there? Persuades. I love it. When you're writing a persuasive essay, you're going to try and persuade someone else to want to live in your community. Okay, I'm going to show you an example. I didn't do the persuasive essay, but I did work on a diagram. I'm going to show you an example. And the idea is you're going to want to try and sell this to someone else. So say maybe your friend, someone else is going to work on an urban community. You're going to work on a rural community. Well, your job is to write an essay to persuade the urban people to want to live in the rural community. This is an example of a shadow, of a diorama.
How did you make that? How did you make that?
What kind of materials do you think you can use? Rachel.
For the urban and rural.
Well, what else could you use for urban? What could you use for an urban community? What kind of materials could you use? Friend. What kind of materials could you use in an urban community? In an urban community? Okay, in our cityscape, if we're going to make it for the city, maybe if you have some Hot Wheels cars, or I do have tons of egg cartons, I have tons of toilet paper rolls and paper towels, so let your imagination start going creative. You're going to brainstorm with your partner, come up with different things that you have at home. Like you may be discussing that right now. Could you just hold on until you guys get partnered up? Thanks. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna bring your stuff in tomorrow. Okay? So I don't think you're gonna see me tomorrow, except I'll be in Mrs. Goodman's class. But you're gonna be working on your dioramas. Okay? And you're going to use construction paper. You can use, if you have anyone here who does scrapbooking, maybe you might have some patterned scrapbooking paper at home. Believe it or not, this little box here is a Jello box. You can use anything you find at home, anything to create your diorama. And this is basically a three-dimensional visual of your community. Does anybody have any questions? Yes.
What do you do on the
I can't hear you. What do you what?
What do you do when you're done?
What do you do when you're done? Oh, after you're done, we're going to actually display them. We're going to display them outside. Okay? You're going to have your persuasive essay. You're going to try and persuade someone else to want to live in your community. Okay? What do you have?
What if we don't have the class we need to make it?
Well, your teachers may have some supplies. Okay? That's where you're going to get partnered up with a friend. And you're going to work together. And you're going to brainstorm, make a list of things that you may have based off of your features that you know about your community. Yes. Well, that's the beauty of this. You're going to be working as partners. Hold up in your conversation. The nice thing about working as partners is that we don't need as many shoeboxes. Okay? So hopefully your partner that you were with, they have a shoebox. Okay? Does that make sense? And if not, we do have another means of making a diagram. Okay? Cecil.